Well, thanks for that fire chain. I loved it. Uh, well, I haven't made these slides. My team has, so I'm just going to be looking over them. Who has run a campaign here before? A marketing campaign on Google, Facebook, yada, yada, yada. All of us have. Fabio as well, thanks. Let's talk about this because this is important and no one's talking about it. Uh, a little bit of my background, I've been a marketer, I've been content marketer, internet marketer, digital marketer for a long, long time. I started my first marketing campaign when I was 16, and I'm pretty old, so it was a long, long time ago. Now, an interesting anecdote, when I was, everyone was talking about digital marketing and e-commerce wasn't there, somebody told me that you should get products from Alibaba, from China, and start selling it on Google. And I was like, what are you talking about? No one's going to buy Alibaba products on Google. Mistake. So here we are with the e-commerce industry so massive right now, and all was fueled by products from China. So imagine that, get it on steroids, multiplied by 1 billion, that is blockchain in digital marketing. So FIRE, or 5 IRE, or Fifth Industrial Revolution, as we call it, is a concept that we've been promoting for a long, long time with United Nations and so on, that we worked personally with. What we talk about is bringing sustainability into blockchain because it's been a huge, huge issue. So what we do is that we have inculcated sustainability in the consensus. How blockchain works is through consensus, and I'm not going to go into details because I'm not the technical guy. But let's say that sustainability is included in the core of the blockchain. I'm going to run through it because it's not important for you to understand FIRE right now. It's important for you to understand how blockchain is going to change things. That's my pretty face right there. I don't know why I look fat in that picture, but that's just how it is. As I said, I've been working quite for a long time in the internet marketing space. I designed the consensus for FIRE and basically promote healthy living and so on and so forth. Now, let's get to the point. What do you think are the problems in the internet marketing industry right now? What's your biggest pain point? Fabio, what's the pain point? What's the problem? Yeah. So increasing costs. And why do you think those costs are increasing? That's a good question. Okay. Could be lack of transparency, could be more competition, could be more and more people coming in, right? All right. What else are the problems? Anybody? Let's not be shy. I'll come to you. What are the problems? Security is an issue. So basically your data is not safe. My data is not safe. And I care about my data. As Fabio was saying, like, people don't care about you. People care about themselves, and that's a great thing. Because that's a barrier to entry. If you can connect with people's desires, it's called Life Force 8. If you're talking about it, it's basically like those 8 desires that people have that if you can tap into, you can be close to them. Now, people care about their data, and we don't as marketers. Facebook goes to a lawsuit because they sell their data. Blockchain is going to solve that as well. Now, read these numbers. I'm not going to go over them. There's a market is billions of dollars and so on and so forth. This is important. Blockchain has been changing almost every aspect of digital marketing, not just digital marketing, but life. Yesterday I was talking here and people were talking about how to get blockchain and what FireChain is doing. A few years ago I was talking to my grandmom, and she was on the computer typing on Google looking for a tailor. And she wrote the sentence, I still remember, in grammatically correct English. Can you please tell me where can I find a tailor in Dubai or whatever city it was? And I was like, Grandmom, you don't have to type a fully grammatically correct sentence on Google. That's not how it works. And she says, but we have to be polite to the people on the other side who are responding to us, don't we? So She actually thought there's a person on the other side of Google who's responding to us, to all our queries. And I was like, that's so cute. But why? Why is my grandmom using Google? Because the technology is running in the background, not in the foreground. And that's where FIRE is changing blockchain. We're making sure that it's easy enough for everybody to use it. So who understands crazy hexadecimal addresses in blockchain? Have you used it? Who gets confused by blockchain? I'm the founder of a blockchain company. Confusing, right? It's crazy. So with FIRE, you'll be able to send crypto to phone numbers, just like Revolut. You'll be able to send, let's say there's an address called fabio.fire. That address is a domain name, and you'll be able to send all your crypto there. You'll be able to store everything or NFTs, and nobody can ban you because it's a decentralized Web3 domain. You know how the talk of draconian countries, starting with C sometimes, banning all the blockchain applications, banning MetaMask? This is us giving financial freedom to everybody, or increasing adoption, because 1 billion people are unbanked. They don't have access to DeFi, they don't have access to marketing, nothing. All they have is phone numbers. And once they get to blockchain, once they have, they own their own assets, they get access to loans, to credit, to everything else, to DeFi through that. So that's another anecdote there. Now, I don't know why they put exit intent there. I'm pretty sure everybody knows exit intent here because you're all marketers. Blockchain marketing, if you see the keyword searches, they're increasing. I mean, not important. This is I think this is a figure. This is important. I was actually verifying this with my team. 40% of businesses have already been using some sort of, this is online businesses, already using some element of blockchain in the business, which is mind-blowing. Because I thought the adoption is stuck at somewhere from 1 to 5%. So this figure was absolutely astonishing to me. 38% of the businesses in the US, again, online businesses, have some sort of tokens. They might have like $200 worth of Ethereum, but collectively they're all coming in. And there was 81% growth of cryptocurrency installs, and it's going to go further and further and further once FIRE comes in for sure. And of course, the market rabbit hit $2 trillion, and it's just down because of the bear market right now. Now, why do we need this? As he said, the cost is increasing. Nobody knows why. The security is an issue. People don't know. I don't know what's happening to my data. Also, when I sell something, I used to own quite a big online e-commerce store where I used to get things from China. What was shown versus what was sent to me in my warehouse was massively different. And the supply chain is so long, I have no idea who did this. So that accountability of supply chain is also something that's going to be super interesting, because blockchain is an immutable ledger, so you can make sure when the failure happens. So we'll look at that as well. Now, some applications, and we'll go into detail. Buying and selling of ads without an intermediary. Imagine not paying your 5% or 10% to Google. Transparency in supply chain, already spoke about it. Selecting a specific niche. We'll talk about this as well. It's a bit more complex. Customized advertisement delivery. So this has been happening where you basically, right now you deliver ads based on people's behavior. You'll be able to deliver ad based on people's choices when they willingly give you their data and get paid for it, which is a way stronger lead. Ads on social media. Data security, as we spoke, it's a cornerstone. Security is a cornerstone of blockchain. We'll talk later as well. Automation, content management, data control, and ad automation. Let's go to the first one. Buying and selling of ads without an intermediary. So what's going to happen is all these self-serve platform that I remember in 2008, 7, 6, I was just going to, I was doing some dubious advertising, so I'm not going to tell you where I was going. But I was going to these websites and placing banners of them, and I was directly able to buy placements on them. And the ROI was insanely good. You can't do that anymore. All the ad space has been hogged by these giants. These giants like Google, I mean, you can't really compete, can you? So once blockchain comes in, there would be no need for intermediary like that. Everything will happen to and from blockchain automatically. And you will see an instant increase in ROI because the middleman is cut out. As you said, the tech industry problem will be removed with accountability, creating a trusted environment and transparency, because you don't have that middleman. Supply chain. This is super, super important. Not just what's written in the slide, because fake impressions, fake clicks, overestimating the ad budgets, all of this is a big, big thing. But being able to understand where the failure occurred is very, very important to us as marketers. Because some of us are affiliate marketers, we don't really care, we sell for somebody else. But I actually very strongly believe, and my career in marketing took a new light when I was able to build my own brands, when I was able to build my own products, and people actually liked those products. And it hurt me every time somebody said that the product was not up to the standard. So what blockchain does is that it tokenizes the entire supply chain and brings it on chain. And since it's immutable, not immutable, it cannot be changed. It's non-mutable. Whenever there's a failure, you can track exactly the point where the failure occurred. And because you can do that, you'll be able to go back to your warehouse manager, let's say in China, and be like, why was this product not up to the standards? And they'll have to give you an answer. And this doesn't happen for just the supply chain. This happens for every single part of the entire management, from you ordering something to then it getting delivered to the end customer. So that transparency is going to come in really handy. Of course, we'll be able to identify bots and bot traffic, because again, with media buying, major issue. I mean, how many of you guys run native ads? Yeah. I mean, I saw you nodding. So I mean, native ads is basically like bot traffic mixed with some real people. And it takes years to find those real people. So all those things, why? Why do you have all those bots? Because there's no accountability. They can have as many bots as they want if you don't have technology to detect it. But now every single click has a signature in history where anybody can go and see it 50 years later. Imagine what this is going to do to bot traffic. So I have amazing aspirations because I've been dealing with bot traffic for a long time. So this is an amazing use case there. Selecting a specific niche because users are putting in their own data. So this was something that, are you guys aware of, what was this, Brave browser? Has anyone used it? Yeah, have you? So Brave browser, what it does is it has a very interesting policy on ad placements. What they do is they don't collect any of your data. They pay you for clicking on ads. So when you click on interesting ads, you also generate revenue because there's a revenue share model. But more interestingly, that is the only data that's sent because you're consenting. So you're not shown any irrelevant ads. You're only shown the ads that you keep on clicking on things that you're interested in, and they keep on getting data on what you're interested in. So it's very laser targeted. So all of that is happening on blockchain because they're able to collect that data and then put it on the blockchain and then put it together. Now, that's how it will help a lot into selecting a specific niche because you'll be able to collect data from the user itself, not from the company. Advertisement delivery. Again, it's a very similar point. Ad fatigue and brand fatigue, right? I know exactly where not to see on a website because I know where the ads are. I know where the banners are. I mean, if I'm not using an ad blocker, that is. So, kind of a problem, right? That's why your CTRs, what is a CTR? If you get a 5% CTR on Google AdWords, you are the king of the world, aren't you? But those kind of CTRs are not unheard of in the blockchain space because what's happening is that you're distributing ads on top of advertising channels. So First of all, there's more intent. People are really interested and getting paid for the ads that they're watching. But also there's this kind of a paywall where most of the blockchain ads are in between things that they want to see. One of the companies that my portfolio companies is this Play to Earn company, where or actually Watch to Earn, which is a further step ahead, where these streamers are watching these FIFA gamers playing FIFA, and in between when the halftime's there, they just get an ad, and they get paid to serve to watch that ad, and also the company pays the advertiser. So it's a win-win situation. So it's changing the game. Can you do that? How will you do that in Google AdWords? And how will you generate enough interest? So that's how the game's being changed. Advertisement on social media. Now, fake news, fake news, fake news. I'm not going to go into the Trumps of the world and the Bidens of the world and so on and so forth, because everything has a side. But there is no accountability of news, is it? I mean, who's right? Is it Russia right or Ukraine right or both are right? There's no nuance. There's no nuance at all. It's because, again, there is no accountability. There's no one solution that can track and trace where these things originated from, and that's what blockchain does really, really well, because it'll be able to track a source of all of this. And because, again, you can't change anything, you'll be able to pinpoint who is spreading this misinformation. Data security, as he said, I mean, you don't have to be a genius to understand that blockchain is very helpful in data security, because there's no single point of failure. First of all, even like I work very closely with companies like IBM and so on. There's some dude who has the keys of a server in a location in the world. One point of failure. Imagine, they provide servers to everybody. One point of failure. But how blockchain works is that I'm the server, you're the server, she's a server, she's a server, he's a server. Everybody is a node. So you have to practically attack all of us together and make sure that we're able to take over 50%, 51% of more. So it becomes very, very difficult for people with malicious intent to make sure that they're able to do this successfully. So data is very secure. And of course, this is a redundant point. We don't need third-party advertisement validation, because we don't need Google anymore, as I said. Better keyword data. The keyword data, like it's so difficult to keep up with the changing norms of Google, how the keywords behave. With every update, everything is different. Because again, they are collecting data based on the behavior of the user, and the user is getting smarter and smarter. But since now the user is paid again to give out the data, you'll be able to have better data, because again, it is more targeted. Content is the king. If you see blockchain social networks, people get paid when their videos are being watched, when their videos are being clicked on. It's the economy in blockchain is a massively shared economy. There's no giants hogging most of the profits. So I upload a video on a version of TikTok, and I don't know, I guess like people like my hair, and I get viral. I make as much money as TikTok does. This is the future of virality, because there is the content creator does not have to wait for advertisements. It does not have to wait for contracts to come and make money. People can just come in and start making the moment they join the platform. And this is already there. So I would implore you to search or look at a blockchain social media, because they're amazing. Better quality of leads, again, because leads come from the source. You're hitting as I said, the Live Force 8. They're opting into the information rather than you trying to target them with the keywords. Of course, content management, we've already covered that. More data-driven and reliable because of the same reasons. So we'll quickly move ahead. Oh, by the way, I'm also reading the slides with you. I'm not in the business of reading. This is the company made this. All right, not important. Now, blockchain is here to stay because I'll tell you when I bought my first Bitcoin. Can't tell you the reasons. Just if there's a keyword silk, if you guys understand what that is, you'll understand why. It was kind of dubious, but I bought my first Bitcoin at $7, and I spent like 1,000 Bitcoin trying to buy something from the dark web, let's just say. And then I was silent for 6 months, and then again I had to buy the same stuff. So I was like, the Bitcoin talk starts again. I'm like, what is this Bitcoin? Why do I have to use this? Why can't I use PayPal? And I ended up reading the white paper of Bitcoin. And I remember being absolutely blown away by what it was, what the technology was. I've been talking about it now for 10 years, 10 years. And finally, it's getting to a point where everybody's understanding, because it was a long ride. So we can definitely say that blockchain in general is the future, because it solves so much. It solves so many issues and gives the power back to people. We've been powerless for way too long. So as we say, technology of the future. There are multiple things that can be done on blockchain. Before ending, I want to say that there is one issue that you guys are going to face if you get into blockchain marketing, that you would not have as much keyword targeting, you would not have as much data points available for you initially, because it gives the power back to people. It's make sure that they only share the data they have to share. But if you're good at what Fabio was saying in the last, if you're good at creating avatars, if you're good at hitting those pain points, there's only a few: enjoyment, survival, sexuality, protection of family, fear. These are some motivators that are the life force 8. I implore you to read the book Advertising. It talks about cashvertising. It talks really well about it. If you're able to do that well, because the barrier to entry is high, the people who will do it well will actually see a massive increase in ROI, because it will finally come to survival of fittest, and you would not see crazy ad costs, because people who don't know what they're doing would not be making enough money as they are right now. It'll be a place where competence works. So I guess that's it. I'll have to see if there's more slides. Yeah, that must be it. The QR code is there. That's my contact. I don't know why would anybody want to email me, but there it is. Instagram is Prateek_fire, which is FIRE. Might respond there. And that's it. I know it's very confusing, and no, please carry on. I like applaud. Yeah.
Do we have any questions for Prateek from the audience? There we go. We've got a mic runner in the audience. Guys, can someone give me a mic?
I mean, I can be a rock star and run.
Thank you. So I just wanted to ask if you can give us some example for blockchain social media.
Yeah, there's actually a very interesting question, because one of my old internet marketing friends just raised like $50-60 million for a social media called Chingari. I don't know if you guys have heard it. I think all the brown people in the house, you might have heard it. No? It's very interesting because it works in blockchain. It's on Solana. It's TikTok on blockchain. It's called Chingari, Chingari. It has the token called #Gari. So you could look at it. I also don't want to promote social media of companies that don't probably want to be promoted right now. So we'll take it offline. If you see me, I'll tell you some more. But I'm pretty sure Sumit will be okay, because he's been an old marketing friend of mine. So you can check out Chingari. It's good.
Thank you.
Prateek, how's blockchain marketing different from, or blockchain advertising different from programmatic advertising?
From what?
From programmatic advertising.
From programmatic marketing, right? Well, in essence, marketing is marketing. I mean, you can give it any word. I mean, people were marketing way before there was technology in it. So I think the concepts of marketing are going to apply. The concept of like OEM, everything else is going to apply. It's just that it's going to increase the trust in the system. It's going to make it more transparent. It's going to make it more secure. So it's going to bring its own advantages. But with traditional programmatic marketing, I don't think that the things that drive, the psychological principles that drive, not just programmatic or any other marketing, the principles that drive those things will probably remain absolutely the same as they've been the same for millennia. I mean, we're hunter-gatherers at the end of the day, so you just have to understand the human brain. Yeah, so I don't think technology-wise there's much difference. Yeah, there's improvements.
Hi, hello. Hey Prateek, congrats for a very
Yeah, I can't spot you.
nicely done presentation.
Ah, okay, hey. Oh, man with the great beard. Hello.
Okay, so no, I have a couple of questions here.
Yeah.
But before that, my observation is that when you incentivize people for clicking or watching, I don't think that's solving a problem for marketers because you are necessarily not reaching out to an intent audience there. That's the first observation. But we can discuss this offline also. Second observation is, and maybe a question for you, is see, Google and Facebook are behemoths. They are too large for any organization in the world to challenge. And the kind of AI and technology that they use for fraud detection is also unmatchable. So why is it that we still face this problem of click fraud or ad impressions not matching or inflating? So that's a question to ponder about.
Well, the clue is in the title. They're not good enough. So they have better technology than most of the other companies. But I mean, you must have heard this term, conflict of interest, right? They make more money if they have a bit more of bots and if they can balance it well. I'm not saying Facebook is doing it. I don't want to get sued. I'm not saying Google is doing it. But clearly what they're doing is not good enough. So you can use blockchain with Facebook advertising to make sure that the bots, all the clicks are rightly traced. I'm not saying that this is going to be exclusive or mutually exclusive of what's present in internet marketing, but it's just improvements based on the blockchain technology. So I think one of the main reasons why they're not doing this properly is because they're not using systems that work. And blockchain is a system that works with that tracking because it's immutable and you can see every single click and the history of what happened. Once they start implementing and integrating that, I think you'll see a massive change into bot traffic. But do they want to do it? I mean, yeah. So also, I mean, if you look at, have you worked with affiliate networks before?
You see, I have worked with affiliate networks. I'm also ex-Google.
Yeah.
I have been speaking to Google engineers when I was there.
Yeah.
My observation, and as Bhavesh also asked a question about programmatic, my gut feel is that the real issue is attribution, number one, because your users are coming from different devices and platforms, and they don't handshake well, right? So you're not able to attribute and maybe duplicate your impressions and clicks. That's number one. And number two, because the systems and platforms are differently designed, the measurement also does not matches. So sometimes your codes do not fire enough, do not fire early enough, or do not at all fire, right? And these issues also create a compatibility issue. I think that's where the problem is. You're absolutely bang on. I think that technology at these platforms together is not enough to handshake with each other.
Yes.
Apart from the fraud part. The fraud part is existing. That's another story.
Yeah, well, so we agree that the technology is not good enough. So assuming that blockchain is a technology that is better into solving that, I believe it is. I mean, it's just a matter of, belief. A reason why it's also not good enough because it's just stored in databases on their servers. So I can't see it. I mean, yeah, you can say that and I understand what you're saying. Anybody can spoof. And then you don't know if it is a real click or not. Absolutely, that happens, and maybe it's not right to blame Google because maybe they don't have the know-how. Perfectly fine, but why can't I see it? Maybe I can. Like blockchain is a community. As a community, we've solved so many problems. We can solve this one as well. But unless we have transparent with that data, especially with bot data, with the data that I'm paying for, I'm not asking for records of employees. I'm asking for the clicks that I paid for. So just that is, let's just say blockchain doesn't solve anything, but it makes everything, every click that comes through more super transparent. That itself is a huge leap forward into solving this issue. So I think that's I think it's a very important question since you're ex-Google. I mean, I'm not much of a marketer anymore, but I'll love to discuss what is the issue, so that we can talk about how blockchain can solve it.
First off, Prateek, well done on the presentation. I'm also a strong believer in blockchain. In fact,
Welcome to the club.
mainly because it's such a new technology. How do you think we can build trust? Like, as a marketing agency, if I were to use blockchain technology, how would I educate my client on how this is better than traditional ways?
Who's your client?
Any business. For instance, if it was a medical grade particular and they do neuro services, how would I say we use marketing through blockchain, and how would that be better than, say, going through Google, please?
Very interesting question. I think the best way to deal with that is supply chain management. Transparency, like talk about transparency. Everybody wants more transparency. I mean, all these issues that we're talking about right now, let's forget the server cost and the data issues and all of that. Blockchain makes everything super transparent. So, I mean, I'm not sure if I exactly got who your client was, so correct me if I'm talking something that's not right. But if it's a pharma company, or from the moment a drug is a very sensitive thing, any single lapse of judgment in the supply chain and you're toying with people's health. So blockchain makes a supply chain super transparent, and it gives it makes sure that everybody has responsibility because it can be traced back. So that's how you can, if a pharma company is a client, you can make sure, you can tell them that this is what it's going to serve, and in the longer run, it's going to help you out. So that's one. We do it with the Fortune 500. So we work with multiple Fortune 500s. We're an official partner with Huawei. How we do it is called decentralized data storage. So now all these companies are storing all the data. I mean, do we have a couple of minutes? Yeah. All these companies are storing their data in these server rooms where there could be a fire, or there could be a malicious actor, or there could be a hacker. So what we do is that we encrypt the data and we store it on fire, or any other blockchain for the matter. And the problem it solves is that the cost of those servers are way less because they don't have to have any infrastructure. There's more than one points of failure. In fact, there are hundreds of points of failure. So they're able to reduce cost and increase security. Massive use case for blockchain. And another really interesting use case of the same is you and I can download when the Fire mainnet launches. You can download the app. You can store a part of the data of, let's say, IBM. I don't have a contract with IBM. It's just an example. And because you're storing that data on your phone, you are able to make money. Now, sometimes this money, our researchers have made mathematical calculations and models. Just by storing this decentralized data, by having an application on your phone, you're able to sometimes make more money than you will make in an entire month in a third world country. Which takes us back to SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, goal number 1, poverty, or elimination of poverty. So these kind of things are massive use cases. You just have to understand blockchain better. I mean, better than, like, I'm trying to understand more and more every day. Since I'm not technical, it's a challenge. But we can have more discussion on what your specific use cases are. Yeah.
I'll keep it very short. I've been last couple of years and all, I've been continuously striving on how blockchain would be working in terms of marketing and all. But the main question here is, marketing is all about awareness, and in turn, it has to generate into quality leads. Today, what we see with digital and any other marketing stuff is whether we are getting quality leads or not. That is a bigger pain point. So I don't know how this thing would fit in, because the more I'm looking into it, it is for supply chain, gamification, or monetization. That is where it is getting done. But whether it would increase more of a quality lead or a CTR is a CTR that you were talking about, I mentioned earlier. So,
Sure. What are the factors that affect your lead quality right now? Why do you think it's good or bad?
I mean, yeah, the main point is the interest-based or the behavior-based kind of advertising we try to do, and marketing always been a guesstimation work rather than estimations, proper estimations. So we have a tendency of understanding that these many people will be coming, or this is what our number is, out of which a 10% or a 5% or 2% bracket we try to. So it's always guesstimation. Can blockchain help us in terms of making this guess even more specific? Or instead of like 2% or a 5% conversion, can it increase it?
Can blockchain increase your conversion? I mean, I guess better marketing campaigns will increase your conversion, but I understand your point. How will it increase conversion? How I break down every problem is what affects my lead quality. One is fraud. Blockchain does well there. Second one is as you're saying, the targeting, right? So we work on data that we already have. Now this is what I was talking about. When you have exit pops, right? If you have a better exit pop, the lead quality that you get from your email list that come in is better because they have signed up to that exit pop, as compared to somebody that you would probably target on Facebook. That's what at least my experience has been, because that is a more qualified lead. They took the effort to sign up for your newsletter. I think that's where blockchain is going to be better. I think in the shorter run, and I'm being absolutely honest here, I think the shorter run it's going to have us see lower ROIs, because we're so used to going to Facebook, going to 40 plus man, woman interest is, I don't know, NBA or UFC, and just running our campaigns there. It's not going to be as easy if we make it 100% blockchain based, because blockchain would decentralize things. So you'll have to let go of a little bit of your hold on data for more transparency. Is just how it is. But I think in the longer run, it's going to help us. Now, we could also have a mixture, like I'm just saying Facebook can use blockchain to track everything and still keep these things. At the end of the day, it's your choice. If you're all on Facebook and nobody's using decentralized Web3, I personally believe everybody is going to be using it. We're going to be living in there, living in the metaverse. It's a totally different discussion. But if that doesn't happen, and we're still living in Web 2, then we can still use the good aspects of blockchain to drive the conversion forward, just as we split test two different headlines and see which ones work better. We can also split test this new technology and see if it drives the conversions better. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prateek from Fire. Amazing.